Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 6 February 2025, Thursday night, 9 o'clock. Must be time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel, and a knife sale we shall have. Before we get into the thick of it, let's do a little bit of housekeeping as usual. First up, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale, which I will post upon the screen for you in just a moment. I will also print them in the description underneath this video. Especially if you are a new viewer / buyer on Thursday night, please be familiar with and agreeable to those. It'll make your purchase experience go much more smoothly. Also in the description above the terms of the sale, you're going to see 3 links to previous videos on this channel. The first one goes right along with the terms of the sale. It's called A Primer for Buyers. And that video is a 38-minute expanded explanation of the terms of the sale. So if you are new, please watch that. It will help you navigate this madness every Thursday. The second link pertains to you if you're interested in using this weekly sale to move along some of your personal collection. It's called FAQs for Consignors, and it explains how this sale works from the consignor's perspective. And then the third link, as always, is to my rates and services video for the TheApostleP Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. Along with that, I'm going to include a fourth link, which is to my winter 2025 sharpening sale, kind of in honor of a return to economic sanity. I'm sort of, by discount, returning my prices to 2021 levels until the end of February. So there will be a link to an informational video about that also in the description. The most important part of the description, though, is the inventory list that shows up at the bottom of the description. It is the list of tonight's inventory, complete with timestamps on the left and pricing on the right. In that pricing column, you will generally see 2 numbers. The one to the left of the slash is the price of your knife as shown in the video. The one on the right is the price as sharpened by the TheApostleP Knife Service. There will be room for 4 knives to be sharpened next day, so the first 4 knives purchased to be sharpened tonight will be done and mailed tomorrow, Friday the 7th, along with all of the as shown inventory. Makes perfect sense. If you see the word sold, all caps, exclamation point, in lieu of pricing for a given item, that means it's been bought and paid for by its new owner. No need to send an I'll take it or an inquiry about anything marked sold. That's it for the housekeeping. Let's get the terms up on the screen for you, and we'll be right back with the sale. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First up, we're going to clean up some leftovers from last week. The first one comes in this translucent plastic tube. Looks like it might be a Demko AD 20.5, and it is. This is the Taiwan-made polymer-handled shark foot version of the AD 20.5. I gotta say, the FRN is done extremely well on these. It actually looks like it might have been milled, but I don't think it has. There's the blade. Great utility blade shape, by the way. Crafted from AUS 10A. Blade length 3 inches, handle 4 7/16. A very ergonomic handle, I got to say. It'll let you sneak up if you want. The shark lock operates a lot like an axis lock, but the actuation is on the spine instead of through the handle. Runs on ball bearings. Locks up very securely. A very fidget-friendly knife. Let's see, blade centering on this one's perfect. We'll call it near mint to like new in tube. It does have both clips, by the way, right and left-handed are included. This model currently on sale at Blade HQ for $120. We ran this one last week at $95. Dropped it to $85 for the weekend. This week, $80 all in, shipped priority mail. $105 if you would like my edge on it. Next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 4. That's the Demko AD 20.5 shark foot. Next up, we have a combo deal we're throwing together. These knives ran separately last week. We're going to run them as a combo this week. So first you have the Kubey Bravo 1. Pretty standard ball bearing flipper, G10 scaled, stainless steel liner lock. Got a Tanto blade with a double fuller in AUS 10, 3 3/8 blade, 4 5/8 handle. Clip will be tip up, deep carry, ambidextrous. There is your lock engagement on the liner lock, rock solid. Nicely centered. Flipping action, just fine. And then we have from Civivi the C2110B Nox, N-O-X. A pretty cleverly camouflaged stainless steel handled frame lock with kind of a tumbled DLC finish. Looks great. Pocket clip, tip up, deep carry, and ambidextrous. Knife is a ball bearing flipper. Hollow ground swedge drop point. Nice forward choil. Blade steel on this one is Nitro V. Got 2 15/16 blade, 3 13/16 handle. So very efficient blade to handle ratio. Rock solid lockup. Perfect centering. Great flipping action. Near mint to like new in box. So let's see. The Noxes are out of stock. Sold listings on eBay between $33 and $64. The Kubey out of stock at $45 web retail. We ran them separately last week at $40 and $35, then dropped them. I'm sorry, $40 and $35, then we dropped them to. We ran them at $40 and $45. We dropped them to $35 and $39. So last week's lowest price was $74 for the pair. We're offering them this week at $60 shipped for the pair, plus $25 each to sharpen. We're calling that the Kubey Civivi combo. Next up is another leftover combo deal that these actually ran as a combo last week. First of all, you have the Spyderco Cat, and then the Spyderco Chicago, kind of sister knives, same basic knife, different sizes, right? So they're both in 440C. They're both stainless steel liner locks, G10 scaled with deep carry tip up ambidextrous wire clips. The Chicago is a whoops, this is the Cat. I got them in the wrong order here. The Cat is 2 7/16 blade, 3 9/16 handle. The Chicago is a 2-inch blade and a 3 1/8 handle. Both of them lock up just fine. The centering on the Cat is going to be a little to the low side as you're looking at it. The centering on the Chicago about in the same place. Both are in near mint to like new in box condition. The Chicago, the small one, has a web retail of $65. The Cat, $70. We ran the combo last week at $90, then dropped it to $80 for the weekend. Your price this week for the pair, $70 shipped priority mail, plus $20 each to sharpen. That's the Spyderco budget combo. Next up, this will probably be the cheapest one of these you see for a while from Spyderco. It is a pair of 3 in digital camouflage. The Digicam pair of 3. Yes, sirree. Handle length is 4 1/4. Blade length is 2 15/16 in gorgeous, reflective, stone-washed S45 VN. Compression lock mechanism, of course, rides on phosphor bronze, and it opens with a hole. Lockup is dead rock solid. Action is free, and the centering is perfect. It's like new in box. It does have a 4-way clip, by the way. Like new in box, currently available brand new at your favorite web knife store for $187. We ran this one last week at $140. No takers, dropped it to $130 for the weekend. Still here. Somebody gets it for $120, all in, shipped priority mail. $150 if you'd like my edge on that S45 blade, and next day sharpening is available if you go that way. The Spyderco Pair 3 Digicam Stonewashed S45. Next, got an interesting knife from Heretic. This is the long model number, but it's the Sleight in Battle-Worn Breakthrough Blue. So the Sleight is a push dagger with a modular handle system. So it comes in a polymer sheath, and I believe this here Ulti-clip can be attached if you'd like to carry it on a belt. I would think it's more set up for net carry, although it's a little large. Very light, though, because all this is aluminum. So out it comes. So one of my viewers last week helped me out with this detail. The blade is actually a ring around that aluminum boss on the bottom side of the handle, and the blade material is CPM 20 CV. So these are designed so that different handle orientations can be applied. So this one kind of goes like that, and I think there's a more straight-on version that you might carry in that gap, but not this one. This kind of goes like that. The tumbled DLC 20 CV blade is chisel ground in primary and edge bevel. Blade length is 3 1/8, measuring to right there, and then from right there to the back, 2 3/8. It's like new in box with Ulti-clip. Price of these brand new web retail is $170 plus the clip. We ran this one last week at $120. No takers, dropped it to $105 for the weekend, and it's still here. Let's do $95, all in, shipped priority mail on the Heretic Sleight. That wraps up the leftovers. Let's get to the fresh stuff. Our first one is from Tenable. Came in this interesting cellophane wrapper. So the model is the Bombur. Stonewashed D2 blade, twill carbon fiber handle, sorta. I think this is an inexpensive Chinese-made knife. Not sure the country of origin is on here. Let's see, is it? Not really. So, scales. They're not solid carbon fiber. They're a lot like the Ontario carbon fiber. So, a thin layer of carbon over FRN scales. I think it's just supposed to open with that hole. Got kind of a snubby spear point with a fuller. Stonewashed D2. Stainless steel liner lock mechanism. Early but secure and rock solid. Ball bearing pivot. Perfect centering. Milled titanium right hand tip up pocket clip. Blade length is 3 1/2. The handle's 4 13/16. We'll call it near mint to like new in box. These are out of stock. When they were available, they were $69 web retail. Let's do this one at 50 like it is, 75 with my edge on the Tenable Bombur. Next up here is a really cool knife from a company that's known for their accessories. Flytanium. It's a whole knife. It is the Arcade, model FLY-1251, with the Demko Shark Lock. I think that's interesting. I really do. And it's kind of a cool knife. So the handle is mostly crafted of black hard anodized aircraft aluminum. Then it has inlaid scales in milled Ultem. You're also going to get a pair of black G10 scales to go with it. I think the purple thumb stud looks great with the Ultem. Nice lanyard hole. Pocket clip is deep carry stone-washed steel, and it is going to be right-hand only. Why did they have to make it right-hand only on an ambidextrous knife? I would so snatch this. There's your Flytanium maker's mark and name. Blade steel looks like S35VN. Blade length 3 1/4. Nice swedged drop point. Jimping better than it looks, actually. And then there's your Demko shark lock. Should be a ball bearing pivot, and of course it opens with thumb studs. The handle length is 4 7/16. Lockup is dead rock solid. The action is beautiful, and the centering is as well. Condition on this one, we will say, like new in the box. Price of these brand new is $209, and then I suppose you'd have to pay extra to get the extra scale set. I don't know that for a fact. I've never bought one. But we're going to offer this one at $150, and I think that is a super cool pocket knife. The Arcade from Flytanium. $175 with my edge, by the way. Next up, speaking of Flytanium, we've got one of their little translucent baggies with a very cool Flytanium sticker. Inside the baggie comes the new Lotus style green canvas micarta scales for a Spyderco Shaman. These are OD green. So the new Lotus style gives you a little bit of a chamfer right there, and then down here as well. A little more ergonomic design. And it looks like your clip is going to be right-hand tip up if you use these. They might have been installed. I think I see a little evidence of a clip being mounted, but very near mint in envelope or baggie. These are out of stock. If you could buy them from Flytanium, they'd be $50, but you can't buy them from Flytanium, at least not in this material. Let's go $40 all in, shipped priority mail. The Flytanium OD Canvas Micarta Lotus Shaman Scales. Next up, we have more Flytanium stuff. This one comes in a clear Ziploc. These scales are for... Come on. See if I can get this open without ruining it. There we go. These are for a Spyderco Paramilitary 2. And they're in OD green linen micarta. And these are also the new Lotus style mill pattern. I love linen micarta. These, I can't tell that these have been installed at all. They might have been. And you're going to get the Flytanium copper backspacer as well. So let's see. These would have been $49 for the scales, plus $25 for the backspacer, which I think is $74. And let's see. Let's do these all in, shipped $55. Priority mail. No need to sharpen and no sales tax. These are the Flytanium OD Linen Micarta Lotus Para 2 scales plus backspacer. Next up, we got one from Boker Plus, no box with this one. It is the Lucas Burnley designed mini Kwaiken. This will be the stainless steel liner lock version with the 3D machined or crowned satin black G10 scales. You're going to have a tip up a right hand polished pocket clip. It'll be on ball bearings, and it's a flipper. Very easy, nice flipping action. Blade steel is D2. Your Kwaiken blade length on the mini is 3 1/16. The handle length is 4 3/16. There's your lock engagement on the stainless steel liner lock. It is rock solid, and the centering is perfect. We'll call it near mint, no box. Currently available brand new at your favorite web knife store for $110. Let's do 70 on this one. 95 if you'd like it to come with my edge. That is the Boker Plus Mini Kwaiken. Next up, another beauty from our friends at Cold Steel Knives. This is the SR1 in OD Green G10. That is very, very Demko in its design. That is just about as coarse as the old Recon 1 G10. Maybe not quite. It is, of course, a triad lock mechanism. That clip is going to be ambidextrous tip up. Flies out of the handle. I need to wipe that blade. My goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. Oh. That satin is kind of a fingerprint magnet. Okay, that'll look better. There she is. Blade steel, S35 VN. Blade length 3 15/16 of clip point field knife. Awesome. Handle length is 5 7/16. There will be a lot of real estate on that handle. You can sneak up if you want. Opens with thumb studs. And this, I believe, has the old Teflon over phosphor bronze pivot. Flicks open nicely. That's a good looking blade. Lock up his, let's guess, it's rock solid. Blade centering is very, very, very close. Maybe just very, very close. I think it favors the top side as you're looking at it. It is like new in the box. So web retail for these is $160. Amazon currently has this very knife on sale for $132, but you'll pay sales tax. This one can be yours all in, shipped priority mail, $110 like it is, $135 if you like my edge. That's the SR1 from Cold Steel. Next up, we have a very special knife from the Chaves Ultramar collection, and I'll explain why in a moment. It says Redencion 229 Kickstop Tanto full titanium stonewashed. So you'll remember that most Chaves knives, and frankly they kind of all look the same, subtle differences, but most of them are M390 titanium frame locks and all titanium with ball bearing pivot and a thumb stud. This one does not have thumb studs. It has the Lee Williams design Kickstop, which is the best flipper mechanism ever. Not only does it work great, and it does, but look, no protruding flipper, so your blade can get right down to the work because the flipper is hidden in the spine. It's like a little cam trigger that propels the blade and then hides away in the handle. How cool is that? I love it, I love it, I love it. M390 blade, 3 9/16 inches in length, and it is a Tanto. And it is a beautifully ground Tanto. The handle length, 4 9/16. Very efficient blade to handle ratio for a large-ish knife. Right hand tip up milled titanium pocket clip in Mick Jagger's skull, or if you're like an old geezer that doesn't like to look strange, you get that clip. That would be my clip if I owned this knife. Anyway, there's your lockup on the steel inserted titanium frame lock. Your M390 designation is right there because Lee Williams Kickstop logo goes where the steel that usually does. Just a beautiful knife and perfectly centered as usual. Near mint in box. These are currently out of stock. When they were available, they had a web retail of $410. This one can be yours at $295 like it is. $325 with an Apostle-P edge on the Ultramar Redencion 229 Kickstop Tanto. Cool, cool knife. Next up, this is interesting. We got a Benchmade Reptilian with no box, and looks like the Molly pouch from a mini Adamas, actually. No box, but you get the pouch, which is kind of cool. It is a 551-1. I was gaga for this knife when it came out. All we had before this were little tiny G10 like dealer exclusives and some interesting configurations, and then we got this G10 knife with beautiful 3D machined diamond milled gray G10, beautiful blue G10 liners, blue anodized hourglass standoffs, and no 154 cm on this one. Its blade steel is CPM 20 CV. 3 7/16 blade, 4 9/16 handle. Rock solid lockup with the axis lock. Rides on phosphor bronze. Not quite a free dropper, but close enough. Let's see. Close enough. Blade centering is beauteous. Very nice one. Oh, Parkerized ambidextrous deep carry clip. So, discontinued and long gone for a couple of years. Sold listings on eBay ranging between $161 and $225. They're creeping up. Your price on this one? $145, like it is. $175 with an Apostle-P edge. That's the 551 grip from Benchmade. Next up, we have a ZT in a Civivi pouch. Is it just me, or is there something wrong with that? And here's the knife. From the design eye of Dmitry Sinkovich, we have the ZT0452CF. Black carbon fiber show-side scale. Stonewashed titanium business side. Shorty deep carry ambidextrous tip-up pocket clip. Cool pivot, steel inserted titanium frame lock, and a ball bearing flipper. 4 1/8 inches of CPM S35VN, a sexy drop point with a big old swedge. Lock up, dead rock solid, engaged thusly. Droppy shutty. Blade centering is very close to perfect. In fact, I'll call it perfect. Condition near mint, no box. Currently available for a web retail price or a ZT map price of $272. This one can be yours all in. Ship priority mail $190. Like it is, $220 with an Apostle-P edge, and next day sharpening is available. The ZT0452CF. Next, we have a Chris Reeve replacement box that houses a ZT0022. A knife I've never, I don't think, had in hand before. Look at that tiny little thing. Yes, sirree, Bob. So we have a carbon fiber scaled, blue anodized, titanium frame lock with an ambidextrous tip-up clip, bronzed aluminum pivot collar, and look at that sexy little blade. So let's see, I think this is a galleon design, yes. 1 7/8 inch blade in 20 CV, 3-inch handle. Let's see, how does it, so it's kind of interesting. The handle is so short, but the finger grooves and that little bevel at the back of the handle make it quite secure. I mean, quite secure for a little knife. And if you come forward, you can have a little better purchase on it like that. And it's sort of an overhand pinch grip. Very interesting. And tiny. It kind of takes a little bit of dexterity to flip it, because you have to kind of grip it with just the thumb and 2 fingers, and then just No death lock or anything like that, so it works great. Lockup is super secure, engaged there. Centering is perfect. I think it's been used and touched up, by the way. Let's see if I can get you a shot of that edge. Yep. So we'll say it's near mint, no box. Currently available for a web retail of $220. ZT map price. Let's do this one at $150 like it is, $175 with my edge, the ZT 0022. Next up, we got the Rob's Pick in tonight's sale. It is from Kershaw. It is made in the USA. It is the model number 7851, launch 19. My favorite launch of all time. I actually had one of my cop buddies text me a few months ago, and he wanted one of these, and I said, you know, I think I can kind of get us a deal. So I got a hold of Jay at Knife Ship Free, and he sent me one for review at a discounted price. And I raved about this knife, and Gary loves it. He loves it. It is the Launch 19, a stunner. So the handle, interesting construction. We got black hard anodized aluminum, but on the show side, a partial flat dark earth G10 scale. Pocket clip is going to be ambidextrous tip-up shorty deep carry, button lock mechanism, automatic deployment, stunning harpoon clip, in CPM 154. Blade length 3 1/4, handle 4 3/8. Beautiful in the hand, in either grip. Rock solid lockup. The centering on this, I'm calling close. You tell me what you think. Near mint in box. Current map price or web retail for this knife is $170. Let's do this one at $125 like it is, $150 with my edge. And next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first four. That's the Launch 19 from Kershaw. It's the Rob's Pick tonight. Next, another Kershaw, also made in the USA. Also one of the Launch series. This is the model 7950 GRY, and it's a Launch 15. So the handle, gray hard anodized 6061 T6 aluminum, inlaid with natural canvas micarta. This is so virginal, it still has a very chalky finish. It will not after you use it a while. Typical button lock auto in the theme of an Italian stiletto, but with a very cool spear point blade. Big old swedge. Black wash, so tumble DLC in CPM Magna Cut. Blade length 3 1/2, handle 4 15/16. That is a stabby son of a gun. The guards work well. That's just a really squared away switchblade. Ambidextrous tip up deep carry clip. Nice little micarta backspacer in there too. I like it. Very cool piece. And it reaches out. Let's see, lockup is perfect. Centering is as well, and the deployment is beautiful. I like this knife more than I thought I would. I mean, this is getting into my ProTech Godfather wheelhouse, and look at the aesthetic is gorgeous, and the function is perfect. So these are currently available for a Kershaw map price or web retail of $144. Let's offer this one at $100 like it is, $130 with my edge. The Launch 15 gray and Magna Cut from Kershaw. Turning the page. Next up, this is really a travesty. It's another Civivi pouch. Nothing inside it but a knife. The knife is a rarefied air piece from one Andrew Demko. This is the AD20S clip point, and this is not only from a company based in the United States, this one is actually made in the United States in Wampum, PA. Black G10 diamond milled scales, thumb studs, and a slot on this clip point blade, which is 20 CV, beautifully stonewashed. Only the right hand clip with these US made Demkos. Shark lock mechanism, beautiful handle, ball bearing pivot, rock solid lockup, and perfect centering. Near mint, no box, US made, out of stock. Last web retail pricing reference I could find was $410. Sold listings on eBay ranging from just under $400 all the way up into the $600s for these knives. Yeah. Your price for this one, $350 shipped priority mail, $380 with my edge. That is the Demko AD20S clip point. Next up, we have a gorgeous little knife from that little company in Bradford, PA. Not a little company, from Case. The knife inside is a 62005 RAZSS. I'll call it a one-arm jack. Purple barnboard jigged bone covers, nickel silver bolsters and end caps, brass liners, 2-blade set. The first one is a razor knife or a one-armed knife, so you can open it with the nail nick, or you can snag your pants with that little point and pull it out with one hand. True sharp stainless steel. Closed length is 3 15/16. Runs on half stops. Whoops. Oh, got to get in the nick. There's your secondary pen blade. Nice walk and talk on both. I think I see the centering as perfect. Or awful doggone close anyway. Condition will be near mint to like new in box. These are out of stock. I found 3 recent sold listings on eBay for this exact model. I think they were all in new condition, and they all sold at $115 shipped. Let's do this one at $90 like it is. $120. I sharpen both blades. Next day sharpening is available. It's the Case 62005 RAZSS one-arm jack. Next up, we sold a sister knife to this last week from the Benchmade Water series. A little folding knife comes in this big, huge box. This is the 18065 Mini Adira, which in my mind is the Adira to have. It comes in depth blue Garivery scales with a super nice textured panel. Ambidextrous tip-up deep carry parkerized clip, axis lock mechanism, runs on phosphor bronze, and something about the etching and the stonewash just look beautiful together on this blade. And it is in CPM Magna Cut. Heat treated to sort of the low end of its hardness range to make it super impervious to corrosion. I think they run these down around 61 Rockwell. Axis lock mechanism. Ooh, look at that free dropping monster. Rock solid lockup too. And the centering will be dead. Blade length is 3 3/16. The handle 4 3/16. That is a squared away little blade. Lightweight and strong. That is the Mini Adira from Benchmade. You can buy one of these brand new. You just have to pony up with $230 plus tax. Or just buy this one, like new in the box. Perfect example. $165 like it is, $195 with my edge on that Magna Cut blade. Next up, I have one from Jack Wolf. It doesn't come with a box. It doesn't come with a tube. It doesn't come with a round coaster thing or a cloth. And it's not a folder. This is the Jack Wolf Fix EDC. It's Fix EDC. So fixed EDC, fixed C. Anyway, comes with a very, very nicely made black leather slip with a belt clip. And the reason I say belt clip is it's got that little tooth in there, which makes it more a belt clip than a pocket clip. And here's the knife. Check this. A little sheep's foot, full height hollow ground in S90V, scaled in black linen micarta. There's even a lanyard attachment. Blade length 2 15/16, and so's the handle. Same length. Beautiful coffin shape. It actually works pretty well. The pinky sort of hangs out back on that bevel. Not bad. Let's see. We'll call it near mint to like new. There's a little boogery spot in the linen. Anyway. These are out of stock. When they were available, they were $235 web retail. Let's do on this one $150 like it is. $175 if you'd like it with my edge. That is the Jack Wolf Fix EDC. Next up, here's one I've never seen from WRK & Sons. That's kind of a biggish box. Looks like it was at, I don't know, some sporting goods store for $109.99, that's web retail, by the way. So this is the CT3 1095 CS Hunter, and it's a fixed blade, and it comes in a black, white stitched leather sheath. Good snap. Very cool blade. It is 1095 steel. It is powder coated, and it has removable orange G10 scales. Blade length is 3 7/8. The handle's 4 1/8. In the hand, it is extremely comfortable. I'm going to say it's near mint to like new, but you do have some soiling in that orange G10, which you're always going to get with orange G10 just from hanging out. So yeah, $110 is web retail. We're going to offer this to you at $70 shipped priority mail, $95 with an TheApostleP edge. The case CT3 fixed blade. Next up, a super cool knife from a company that tries really hard, and they make good stuff. From ZT, experience it. The knife inside that big box is the ZT 6 BLK ZT fixed blade. And this is a work of art, guys. Comes in a pancake style Kydex sheath with a removable nylon dangle. It gives you also your cross snap. This should be attachable in a variety of ways to a variety of gear. Let's see. Get this out of the way. See how much rattle we have. There's a little. There's a little. Anyway. There's your blade. Now this knife comes two ways. It comes in a gray Cerakote, which this is not, or this black DLC, which this is. The blade steel is CPM 3V, which is good that you have a coated blade. Your crossguard and pommel are both DLC coated steel. It is a full tang knife with 3D machined G10 scales. The blade length is 6 inches. The handle's 4 11/16. And it is very nice in the hand for what it is. An all-purpose operator blade. Can it kill a bad guy? You bet. Can it split some kindling? You bet. Can it cut up veggies for your supper? You bet. Nice high flat grind. Just flat from there on up, and then a nice swedge that terminates before the tip because it's a skinny ground knife. That's one of the coolest field knives I've ever had in my hand. We're going to say it is near mint to like new in box. A little bit of sheath rubbing in the DLC. Currently available for a web retail or a ZT map price of $380. I'm sorry, $336. Your price on this one, $225 like it is, $260 for me to sharpen that 3V blade. And next day sharpening is available. That's the ZT 6 BK fixed blade. Next up, we have a fixed blade offering from the Benchmade Knife Company. It is a model 165-1 Mini Bushcrafter, which I think is almost a misnomer for this knife. I think it should be called a Mini Adamas fixed blade. It is designed by Shane Sibbert. It comes in a beautifully made leather sheath. Dare I say wet formed? Sure looks like it. Nice edges, beautiful deep espresso finish. You could almost go scout carry. You definitely have a fire steel loop, and you have a large belt loop for vertical carry. Nice cross strap and snap. Now you see what I mean? So the blade, all Mini Adamas. The handle, definitely Mini Bushcrafter. OD green G10, nicely contoured. Some deep red liners. Blade steel is S30V. Blade length on the Mini Bush, 3 5/16. The handle is 4 3/16. It fits the hand very, very well. It is near mint to like new in box. Man, these are expensive, guys. If you buy a new one, your web retail or your Benchmade map price is going to be $380. It better be good. Even at this price, which is considerably lower, it better be good. But you can have this one at $240, so $140 off map, and then $265 with my edge. The 165-1 Mini Bushcrafter from Benchmade. Next up, we have one from Kershaw, but it's missing that one thing because it's not made in the USA. It is a pretty cool little knife. It's the model 2051 Mini Iridium. Pretty cool. So you have some sort of like sky blue, what do they call it? Ice blue? Ice blue, hard anodized aluminum scales. Backspacer will probably also be aluminum in a bronze ano. And then the pivot is also bronze anodized. It has Kershaw's Duralock. Nothing at all like a Benchmade Axis lock, except that it's exactly like a Benchmade Axis lock. Pocket clip will be ambidextrous tip-up deep carry. Opens with thumb studs. Rides on ball bearings. The blade, a swedged spear, 3 inches in length, made out of D2. Nice stonewash. The handle's 3 7/8, very efficient blade to handle ratio. Lockup is dead rock solid. Action is free swinging. Blade centering is very, very close, but I think it favors the bottom slightly as you're looking at it. Great little EDC blade. Condition, near mint to like new in box. Available to be purchased brand new at your favorite web knife store for $60, probably plus tax and postage at that price level. Or you could just buy this one all in, shipped priority mail. Done. 45 bucks. Add 25 if you want my edge. So $70 sharpened, and next day sharpening is available. That is the mini iridium from Kershaw. Next up, a knife I've never seen from a company I've never seen. Maybe I'm not paying close enough attention. The brand is Remet. The knife inside, which is made in China, is the RTKF2 RT Kingfisher. I think this knife comes in a couple different configurations. This is the black hard anodized aluminum handled version with gold accents. Interesting. It's a ball bearing flipper, but they put a lot of time and effort into the design of those thumb studs, which work quite well. Let's see. So is the flipper. The blade is done in a very velvety, luxurious looking glass bead finish. It is M390. The blade length is 3 3/8. I have no idea what to call that blade shape, but it is what it is. There's your lock engagement on the titanium frame lock. It does have a steel lock face insert. Pocket clip milled titanium right hand tip up only. Lockup is dead rock solid. Pretty drop shutty, and the centering will be perfect. Like new in box. These are in stock. They're out of stock everywhere here in the States, I believe. You can buy them brand new at Lamnia for $205, but who knows what else you will pay on top of that coming from Lamnia. But it won't be free, I can guarantee you. Your price for this one, $160 all in, shipped priority mail. $195 for me to sharpen that very odd long-nosed Tanto blade. That's the Remet RT Kingfisher. Next up, we have a very squared away little pocket knife from one CJRB. And let's see, their very creative naming makes this one called the J1925-ST. It's a pyrite. Kind of your basic pyrite. Stone-washed stainless steel handle, but deeply milled for weight savings on the inside. Just a great stone-wash finish. Even the stone-washed pocket clip, which is ambidextrous tip up deep carry. Just 2 hourglass standoffs. It is a button lock, opens with thumb studs, rides on ball bearings. Lockup is rock solid. The blade is AR RPM 9. It is 3 1/16 inches in length. The handle is 4 3/16. You can put your hand here. You can put your hand here. Lots of grips. Just feels good in the hand. Lockup is dead rock solid. Definitely free dropping action and very close centering. It is like new in the box. You can buy one of these brand new for $48 plus tax and postage, or buy this one, $35 all in, shipped, priority mail, $60 with my edge. That is the pyrite from CJRB. Next, we have a Vosteed pouch, no box or tin, but we do have a Vosteed knife. And this is the model number A1908BLK, and it's the Ankylo, I think, ANKYLO. Very cool knife, I got to say. Black hard anodized aluminum scales, pocket clip, polished deep carry, tip up, ambidextrous with fill tab, lanyard tube, and I guess it's a flipper on ball bearings, but the lock is the pivot. You squeeze the pivot together and that releases the lock. There's the button you're depressing. That side of it is actually fixed. So it's a flipper. Is it a front flipper? Let's see. It's a front flipper. Or you can open it with the hole. kind of a modified sheep's foot blade, and that is in 154 cm. Blade length is 3 13/16. The handle is 4 9/16. They call this the Vanchor lock, V-A-N-C-H-O-R, or Vanchor lock. What's that old, I think Kershaw made them. They were kind of one guy's dream with that squeezable pivot. This works way better than that. Anyway, I can't remember the name of that knife. Somebody chime in the comments and tell me what it was. They were all little short things, and you had to like fling them, and this is way easier to use. Very cool. They're out of stock at $129 web retail in this configuration. There were some more expensive ones with the anodized bits. This is all the raw stuff. They're $129 web retail, but they're gone. Your price for this one, $95 all in, shipped priority mail. $120 with my edge on that 154 cm blade, and next day sharpening is available. That is the Ankilo from Vosteed. Next up, I feel like I'm doing you guys a service tonight because with the new tariffs, you guys can't buy this Chinese junk for what you could last month, but I'm here to help. I have another Vosteed. This is the Raccoon CB, model number A0531, in a Nitro V blade, and then they don't call this Ultem. They call it Gold PEI, whatever PEI is, but it looks an awful lot like Ultem. It's probably the same stuff. I don't know. So here's the Raccoon CB in the Gold PEI, ambidextrous tip-up deep carry polished clip, crossbar lock, thumb studs, and ball bearings. The blade on the Vosteed Raccoon, as the box said, is Nitro V. 3 3/16 inches of blade, 4 5/16 inches of handle. Got the crossbar lock. Not like an Axis lock at all. Rock solid. Nice forward choil. Centering on the Raccoon. Close. Might favor the top slightly. Near mint to like it new in box. Out of stock at $69 web retail. Can't buy one for that. But you can buy one for $50. This one right here. All in, shipped priority mail, $50. $75 with my edge. And next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 4. That's the Raccoon CB from Vosteed. Next up, we have a little run of traditional slip joint pocket knives. This one is from Case, no box. It's the TB62117SS Swayback Limited Edition, covered in yellow jigged bone, nickel, silver, and brass. Main blade is a Wharncliffe with that limited edition etch, and the etch is a little funky, just so you know it, right over here. It's supposed to be black and gold, and some of the black is gone. 1 of 3,000, it says. Second blade is a pen. Very nice walk and talk. So on the centering, it looks like the main blade is favoring the top very slightly. The pen blade looks about perfect. Condition will be near mint, no box. 1 of 3,000 made. Let's do $85, shipped priority mail. $115 with an TheApostleP edge on both blades. The TB62117SS Swayback from Case. Next up, oh, what a little beauty. One of the coolest 5th pocket knives ever right here. This is the Case V6225.5 DAM. It is the small swell center jack, so kind of shaped like a Coke bottle, but it has Damascus blades, and it's ladder Damascus. So not Alabama Damascus, I don't think. This might be like good stuff. Closed length is I forgot to write it down. It's just over 3 inches. About the size of a 14 GEC. Main clip on a half stop. Beautiful walk and talk. Secondary pen on the back side. Nice one. Oh, did I mention? This is wearing my edges on both blades already. Beautiful walk and talk. Centering is close. Again, the pen blade's about perfect. The main blade might favor the top just slightly. Near mint inbox with my edge. Currently available brand new for $229 with those Damascus blades. This with my edges already on them, $150 shipped priority mail. The 6225.5 Damascus swell center from Case. Next up, we got an old pair of blue jeans. It's a 6254 SS Trapper with amber jig bone. That's really what they call that. Nickel, silver, and brass. That side looks a little better. Both blades on cam tangs. Got a muskrat clip main in true sharp stainless. And a secondary spay in true sharp stainless. Closed length 4 1/8. Pull is about a 7. The walk and talk, it needs a little oil. Should we do that right now? Why not? Let's just do. Time for a little KPL. Just a little. Let's see what we got. Well, that's better. That's all it needed. There. There we go. It'll get better even. Nicely done. Near mint, no box. Available new for $69 web retail. Let's do 50 on this one. 80 with my edge on both blades. The case 6254 SS Trapper. Next up. Oh, yeah. Look at here, boys. The case 1031820 CV Serpentine Stockman. And this is very interesting. Look what that says. Pilot test run. So not only are these blades CNC flat ground, they're also in 20 CV. I don't know who did these blades. They do not look like case. Meaning they look a lot better than a case grind. So did they buy some new equipment? Kind of an acid stone wash. So, and look, all three blades have the Skagel slot. So muskrat clip, center sheep, backside spay. I like those Skagel slots. 3 9/16 closed length. And I believe, what do they call that? I don't know what they call that bone. It looks more like that same amber that was on the swell center. Nickel, silver, and brass. No rub on any blades. Pull weight, about a 6. Near mint, no box. Unobtainium. You can't find this knife anywhere. Got to be worth $125. And that's your price. And I'll say it's near mint, no box. $165 if you want me to sharpen those three blades. That is the 10318 20 CV Case Serpentine Stockman Pilot Test Run. Super cool. Next up, this is the save me from myself moment tonight. I think I teased you guys about some super cool Schrades. And here's the first one. It's the Schrade Heritage 8041 split back Whittler with TheApostleP edges on all three blades. So just take a look. We got rat tail, nickel silver bolsters. We have brass liners. And that center brass liner, it's so cool that they use brass because you can actually see that wedge spacer. And look how beautifully clean the termination is. So you've got two springs in the knife, and they're spaced out by the wedge to run the two secondary blades at the butt end, and then they come together to run the main blade on both springs. So you got, strong spring on the big main blade, and then individual, less powerful springs running the secondary. So here's your main clip, and you have the Heritage Series etch, stainless steel, probably 420 HC. These knives were run in the early 80s, and they're super well made. That smooth green bone is gorgeous. The coined edge shield is gorgeous. So the main blade's on a cam tang. I'm going to call that a 7-pull. Perfect walk and talk. Only very slight rub. That one spot right there. And I believe these all have my edges on them. They do. The main blade's polished and the secondaries are satin, which is kind of a charade thing. That's why they didn't cost as much as a case. So secondary clip, secondary coping. All three blades have my edges. Everything is beautiful. Near mint, no box. Found one of these knives sold a few years ago at All About Pocket Knives, and it sold at $225. This one can be yours, $125 like it is. No need to sharpen. The Schrade Heritage 8041 split back whittler with Apostle P edges. That's a beauty. Next up, another Schrade product. This will be from the Old Timer series. That is a big serpentine Stockman. Model 858 large Stockman. This one also has my edges on all three blades. So you got your saw cut Delrin covers, big Old Timer shield, rat tail bolsters, main blade on a long pull, and these are in stainless. That is a clip on a cam tang, middle blade, sheep's foot, back blade, spay, all with my edges. I don't think there's any rubbing going on these. Not really. Pretty squared away old pocket knife right there. We'll call it excellent to near mint, no box. Guys, the price of this knife is $50 shipped priority mail. 40 of that, my consignor paid me to sharpen this knife a couple years ago, and it hasn't been used since. That is the Old Timer 858 large Stockman with Apostle P edges. Next up, we got one from Rough Rider. I've seen that spelled two ways, one with a Y, one with an I. It's the Buckshot Bone Barlow. Yeah. So there you go. There's your Buckshot Bone. There's your shield. It's got a shield and a stamp bolster. Double lined and pinched. Brass liners and red liners. You have a secondary clip point with a match striker nail neck. If you can get to that nail neck on the main blade, you're a better man than I. So I'm not really quite sure how you're supposed to operate this knife, because you got to open the pen blade to get to the main. Anyway, I think these are in the steel etch says 440 razor sharp. That means it could be anything. The closed length is 3 5/16. It's just cheap. Buy it and put it in somebody's stocking next year. You can buy them brand new for $27 plus tax on Amazon. This one, $20 shipped priority mail. My seller will lose 35 cents when he sells this knife. Postage is going to be $10.65, and my commission is $10 minimum, which I think totals to $20.65. Yeah, he's going to lose 65 anyway. Somebody just buy it. Buy it for a joke. I don't care. Watch people try to open it. That's the Rough Rider Buckshot Bone Barlow. Next up, this knife is actually sold before making the video, but I'm going to give you guys one look at it. before it leaves, and it's going to a good home. My buddy Evan Nicolaitis, Esnix Knives, made this knife. I think it was in Blade Show 2021. It didn't sell. He came home. We went on vacation. I bought it. Comes with an Esnix pouch. Comes with an Esnix slip. Comes with a Magna Cut blade. It's a tarpon. It's got a cloth. I mean, there's everything here, guys. And it's funny because the guy that bought this knife actually sent some stuff on consignment some time ago. One of those things was this. What is that called? The bearded owl sheath. And it didn't sell, so he gave it to me, and I always used it to carry this knife in. There's the tarpon. So he bought the knife, and he gets his slip back. Beautiful rooftop jigged bone covers, houndstooth shield, all steel construction, mill relieved liners, which act like washers, so you reduce the surface area of the liner to the blade so it doesn't get all scuffed up as it rotates in any visible way. There it is. Got my edge on it. Let's see, what am I going to call that? I'm going to call that pull weight a 7.5. Perfect Roadrunner action at half stop. Centering on this one, it looks really close to perfect most of the time. Condition is near mint with all the goodies, just my edge. And it's already gone, but at least you guys get to see it. Next up is the last knife in tonight's sale. One from my personal collection. I hate to get rid of this because I almost died with this knife, but I didn't. It is the 535 GRY-1 bug out. You guys know this knife. I carry it a bunch, or have carried it a bunch. And it's going to come with, wow, look at that. It's going to come with those scales, which are gray. I don't know if they're titanium. They're kind of beat up. And it's going to come with the original Ranger green scales. And it's going to come with the scales it's wearing, the AWT OD green aluminum. A little scuff in the front of the handle. It is wearing my edge. It might have cut a couple things since I sharpened it. Shorty clip, got a scratch in it. I bought that, or I had Benchmade send me the clip for free, I think. And I immediately in the garage scuffed it along the concrete. So, you know, anyway. So, yeah, but anyway, rock solid lockup. I think the centering's perfect. It is. Action should be pretty free dropping, not quite. So, the knife itself now is $190. Benchmade map price plus the cost of the AWC scales and that other set of scales in there. I don't know, but you know, it's not pristine. Great user, great story. And the reason I'm selling it is because I got that jade with the blue with the ghost butterfly, and I just never carry this. So somebody gets a piece of my motorcycle daredevil history. 135, no need to sharpen on the bug out. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of another weekly knife sale on the Apostle P channel. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Now commence to clicking. I'll talk to you soon.